All right, YouTube, we are back with another video. In today's video, we're going to be going over the linear regression candles by linear regression candles by Ugu whatever. And we're going to take this and we are going to turn it into Python. So if we come down here, if we take a look at this, just remember this number right here. This is part of the linear regression candles that we have here, 1857. So if we come over here, this is for the signal. We look at this white number right here, 1857, and then this next one is 1419. If we're looking at the white number up here, 1419. So if we come down over here, you can see this is 1419. So we're basically spot on. Then we'll create the function, and then what we'll do is we'll also set up the graph so that way you guys can check this out. They look like Heikin-Ashi candles, but they're not really Heikin-Ashi candles. They're linear regression candles. And so you guys can see this is what it looked like. And then if we go over to here, you'll be able to see they basically look exactly the same. Then when we're done with that, I'm going to show you guys this back tester that I've built where you can put in stop loss information, trailing stop loss, all types of stuff. I'm going to explain this at the end of the video. And here you can see here we did 29 million candles, almost 30 million candles in 3 minutes. So it's extremely fast if you know anything about programming. And I'll show you that you can download the candles. Like I said, set some settings here, you'll get some results here, including your QF score. Again, I'm going to explain all of that. Then when you're done, you can go over here and say, hey, I want to see exactly what happened with every single trade, the take profits, all of that stuff, the cumulative P&L, every single trade in the data frame that we have here. And then when you're done with that, you can say, hey, you know what? I want to actually see exactly every single trade, how it played out in real time, the replay mode that I've created. This is not on Tradingview. Then when you feel like you're completely done and you're ready to go live, we've got some exchanges here that are ready to go. Again, I can just place a trade over here on Binance. Let's see, I'm going to click this button here. You should be able to see it pop up. Boom. We have it ready for Binance. We've got it ready for Bybit as well, and some other exchanges. You guys can see here, it's going to pop up. Boom. It's ready to go. You can see here, you get your order ID from Bybit and Binance right there. And if you need help or would like to hire me, or I can give you lessons, or free lessons or paid lessons, you guys just follow me on Twitter, subscribe to the YouTube channel, comment on this video, and then message me on Discord or Telegram. Let me know you've done all those. And we can hook you up with a free consultation to see what I can do to help you build your strategy or answer any questions you have about trading or any of that other stuff. So, yeah. Again, I'm going to be explaining more of that as at the end of the video. So, what do we have to do first? Well, first thing that we're going to have to do is we're going to have to you're going to have to install pip install NumPy, pip install pandas, and pip install Plotly. Again, if you guys have any questions or something doesn't work or any of that other stuff, this is where you go to the Discord or Telegram and ask me questions. Okay, but this is what you'll need to basically have. And then after you've done that, you'll also need to, and then when you're done with that, you're going to import NumPy as in P, import pandas as PD, import plotly .graph objects as go. And once you're done with that, you're going to have to download some candles. Again, I'm doing it through mine, where I have a bunch of different exchanges that you can download from. And so the way that the candles end up showing up is you have the candles show up in a two-dimensional array that has timestamp, open, high, low, close, and volume. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to download some candles from Binance US. I'm going to download the BTC USDT and the 1 hour. Again, if you guys would like to use my software to download the candles, or you'd like to learn how to do that, I've made that on my YouTube channel. So just go and type in download candles and you'll see the video on how to do that. All right. So I'm going to assume that you guys have the ability to download the candles. And the next thing that we're going to need to do is start to create the actual linear regression here. So I'm going to go ahead and run this, and we should get the candles here. I'm just only going to do 400 on the 1 hour. And the first thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to create the open, high, low, close. So we're going to say open equals candles. And we're going to do this. Candle, I type open. I have this set up so that way it's just a lot easier. This is just basically a number. And so the open, like I said on this, is column 1. So it's just going to be 1. We're going to need to get column 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So just do this. 2, 3, 4. This is open. Say high, low. Where is my thing here? Say close, and this is gonna be close. It's gonna be low. This one right here, high, and this is gonna be close. Okay, so now we have taken our candles data, which basically looks like this. Candles TTF. So we have our timestamp, open, high, low, close, and volume. So all we've done is just take the row and then store it as a variable. So all of these, instead of being in columns, it's just going to be one a NumPy array of opens. Okay. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to need to create our empty array for our linear regression. So we're going to say linear regression candles equals np.full like, and it's going to be candles. And we're going to fill it with np.nan. So we're basically creating an empty array, or we're filling in an array with the same exact dimensions and everything as our regular candles that we have here. So if we take a look at that, do this, you'll see that we just have it set up like this. Okay. So now what we have to do is, according to the what is this called? NumPy array. So going off of how NumPy has their documentation set up, here if we're trying to find the linear regression or the approximate y value, then we have to do this np.vstack x np.ones, you know, all of this fun stuff right here, and we have to create our x values and our a, whatever this a means here. Okay, so our x values is just going to be, you know, 0 through whatever, because they're very simple. So we're going to do np.arange. We just want to go from 0 to the length. So we're going to say that the regression length, and we're going to define that really quickly, equals 11. And there's another thing that we have to set here. Well, we'll do that a little bit later. All right. So this is just going to give us an array. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? So then there's that. Then for our A, we're just going to do np.vstack x np.ones length of x. Length of x, and we're going to transpose that. And again, where did we, if you guys, where did we get that from? Basically, it's up here. Again, we have this np.vstack x np.ones length of t, right? So we have that. It's going to end up looking like this. That's all we have going on there. So we're just going to label that as capital A because that's what they do on the NumPy documentation. So now here is where we have to build this for loop. So we're going to say for I in range. We're going to also have to create a linear regression length M1. So this is len regression length minus 1. So we have to create that because we just need to start off. Again, when you're dealing with NumPy arrays, you start at 0 and you go to basically 1 minus your length, which is why when you saw the arrange, even though we're going to 11, it did 0 through 10. So that's just the way it works. Okay. So that's why we have to start off with -1. So we're going to have linear regression length of -1. We're going to go to the close.size. Okay. And we're going to do this. So now what we have to do is start this part right here, which is the M and C, and we'll start to do this. So that means that we're going to just do m comma b equals np dot linalg dot lstsq, and then we're going to say a. Then here we're going to do well, we're just going to do this I minus lin regression length minus 1 to I plus 1. Then we're going to do recon equals none. I think that should, okay. And for some reason it returns a tuple, so we have to grab the first one. Then we're going to say lin regress candles I candle body type dot open equals b plus m times lin regression like this. Okay, and so the reason why we're doing this is because that's the way Tradingview does their linear regression. So if we come up here and we just hover over linear regression, you'll see that it's intercept plus slope times the length of -1 minus offset. Okay, so we have to do this length -1, and that's what we have right here. Again, we have linear regression length of -1, and that's what we're applying to this right here. And so now that we have this, we need to actually get rid of this. So now we're going to have to repeat this for the open, the high, the low, the close, because that's how he has it over here. He has the open, high, low, close. Okay, so that means that we need to duplicate this. And we will duplicate it again and again. So now all we have to do is just fill out open. Come here, open. And then here is going to be high. And this is going to be high. And here we'll have the low. Low. This is going to be the low right here. And then we'll have the close. This is going to be close. So this is where we have created the open, high, low, close. So we're grabbing the candles, we're applying the linear regression to the open, high, low, and close values, and we're storing those, the answers inside of our linear regression candles that we've created. And then after we are done with that, well, let's just go ahead and run that. Takes like basically no seconds, which is pretty insane. So now we have to create the signal. Signal equals, now here, the way I have it set up is I have a whole bunch of different Tradingview indicators. If we check over here, you'll see I've got WMA, SMA, EMA, RMA, standard deviation, MACD, a whole bunch of these things. So the way I have the linear regression set up and the way I have a lot of my is set up is exactly like how Tradingview lets you select which moving average, smoothing average, whatever it is that you want to use. So that's the way we're going to have to set ours up, okay? And so what does that mean? That means that we're going to have to do this thing called a smoothing type equals SMA TV. So I've already made a video on the SMA. And so again, if you guys need that video, then go ahead and just go to the YouTube channel, type in SMA, and you should be able to see. And always watch the latest video, because I'm not sure if things are going to change or whatever it is. So just make sure you watch the latest video. Or again, if you have any questions, go down below, click the all my links, and join the Discord or Telegram. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord or Telegram, and then you can ask me any questions in there as well. So we're going to set the smoothing type to this, even though it's not defined. So we're going to say our signal is going to be our smoothing. So we've basically set a variable equal to the to a function. And so here we have to send it a source equals linear regression candles. And we're going to say this is going to be candle body type dot close. Again, this is just an int. It's just 4. It's just going to return 4. It's just a lot easier to do it this way. So then the next thing that we have to send it is the length, which is going to be smoothing length. And we haven't defined that yet, so let's just go ahead and go up here, define that. So here we have this is going to be 11. Length. So we'll put a comma there. So now we have our signal. Looks like this. And if you remember from earlier, we had 1857 and 1419. And obviously we crossed over into a new hour, and so that's why we have this new number right here, which if we go up here and check, you'll see that it says 2742, basically 42 because it rounds it up. 2742. And so what we've done here is we've done this, right, through for loops through all of our candles. We didn't do this because this is for the plotting. And then we have our signal, which he says here, if you have it checked, you get SMA. If you don't have it checked, you get EMA. But here we can apply weighted moving average, EMA, RMA, any of the things that we want. And okay, so now that we have all that, what does that look like? Well, you guys can go back and wrap all that stuff up in a nice and sexy function. But like I said, I've already done that. And so here we have this function. Again, you guys can access this as completely for free. Just pip install Quant Freedom, or you can go to the GitHub in the all my links and get the source information for that and just do pip install Quant Freedom, and then you'll have access to all of these indicators that I've made. But here for the function, I'm just going to copy it because again, this is literally, well, we didn't do this part. We need to actually do that part. So here, all we're doing is in our linear regression candles, we're giving it the same exact timestamps and the same exact volume for each one of the candles. Okay, so we're doing linear regression candles, volume equals the same thing for the candles that we've downloaded, the volume there. Okay, so now that all of that's done, we're just going to copy this because this is everything that we've already done here. And we'll go ahead and paste it over here. And so we'll just delete all this information here. So we have our linear regressions. You can name it whatever, and you're going to need to send it the candles. You're going to need to send it your linear regression length. You're going to need to send it your smoothing length, and you're going to need to send it your smoothing type as far as do you want EMA, RMA, SMA, EMA, whatever, or AMA, whatever it is. And here we just go through it like we did. Open, high, low, close, linear regression, your X and your A, your linear -1. You're doing your for loop that we've already been through here. Let me just make sure. Yep. And then you have your signal is going to be your smoothing type, which we've said here by default it's the SMA. And we send it the close values of our linear regression candles, okay? That's what he did in his thing here. He's sending the signal is B close, which is the linear regression of the close, right? So that's what we do there. Then we set the timestamp and the volume, and we return our linear regression signals and our linear regression candles and our signal. And so I think everything should be here. So we have our signal, we have our linear regression candles, we have all of that stuff. So then the next thing that we would need to do is actually plot this. And we'll go ahead and grab the plotting in just 1 second. So the plotting. Okay, so we have the plotting here. So this is very, very easy. All you have to do is follow this, right? So if you wanted to make a function, you just create this function like this. Then you send it the linear regression candles, and you also send it the signal that we just made. The first thing that we'll do is we'll just take our, for our X values, we're just going to make the date time. So that's where when you have pip install pandas as PD, is what we're going to create it, PD as date times. So we'll grab our timestamps, turn them into a date time, save it as date time. Then we're going to do figure equals go.figure. And inside of that, we're going to have data equals, and this is just going to be a list of different Go classes. So we got our candlestick, your X, your date times, your open for your, now this is again, you're open for your linear regression candles, your high, your low, your close, and then the name is just going to be, well, this is going to be linear regression candles, right? So that's pretty straightforward. And then here, this is also pretty straightforward. You just have your go.scatter, you're sending your X. Your Y is the signal, because this is just basically going to be your moving average right here. So we'll just name it signal, and then the line color is going to be yellow. And then afterwards, we just update the figure, update the layout. I just set it to 800, and I set the x-axis to the range slider. I hate that thing. Set it to false, and then we just show it, right? And so I also have a whole bunch of these like settings here to make it my chart look a lot more nice. So you guys don't have to have that, but it's just not going to look as amazing as mine does. And that's where you end up getting it to end up looking like this, which again, it looks exactly like, if we zoom in, looks exactly like what it does on Tradingview. You guys can see these. And if we bring this down like this, you guys can see it looks basically exactly the same. You see? Basically looking exactly the same, because I mean it is. We've already shown the numbers basically add up and match up perfectly fine. So like I said, I would explain a little bit about my backtester here. So what I've done is I've created a backtester, and you can download your candles, have your exchange settings like your fees and different things like that. You can set up your stop loss, take profit, risk to rewards, trailing stop loss, all that fun stuff. Here's just some order settings where you can set getting a very, very nice log that tells you basically everything. It tells you everything that happened in the backtest, so you can debug everything, make sure it's doing everything that you need it to do, and create your strategy. This is just an RSI is below strategy, really, really simple. And you run your backtest, and you run your once you run your backtest, you'll get back a whole bunch of different answers depending on what you're testing. And so you can see here we have our gains, our losses, our gain percentage, our win rate, our QF score, which is very important, fees paid, total P&L, ending P&L, all that fun stuff. And your QF score is important because it basically shows you how much, like, to the downside, or there's no downside. So the closer it is to 1, the better, because that basically signals that there's very little downside drawdown if you get closer to 1. And here again, you can see every single trade that has happened, exactly how your stop loss is moving, your take profits and stuff like that, your cumulative P&L. You can see that's why this QF score is important, because it basically says we're going straight to the moon, right? And here you can see every single trade that was taken, all the stop losses, all the entries filled, moves your take profits. And then again, when you're done with that, you can check it out, actually replaying here. And then when you're really done, you can come over and start going live with your trades. You guys can see all of these things work here. Apex is a little bit crazy, but I've got some links here. Mufex is my preferred decentralized exchange. I like decentralized exchanges. We got some here. And then my preferred centralized exchanges are Bybit and Binance. And then I got a VPN here if you would like to use one. Don't use one if the law says don't do it, basically. I'll say it like that. I guess legally, right? If the law says don't do it, but you can do whatever you want. And yeah, we have all of our trades showing up on all of the exchanges, and so I think that's about it. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, again, for the free consultation, join the Discord, join the Telegram, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on Twitter, and let me know you've done those, and then I'll send you a link to set up some time for us to chat about whatever it is that you guys are interested in. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you on the next one.